The Department of the Navy will include approximately 140 miles of federal property along the U.S.-Mexico border near the Barry M. Goldwater Range in Arizona. That promise was Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. Approximately 8,500 military personnel assigned to Joint Task Force Southern Border continue to enhance U.S. Customs and Border Patrol's capacity to identify, track, and disrupt threats to border security. Since the Secretary authorized enhanced detection and monitoring on March 20th, Joint Task Force Southern Border has conducted more than 3,500 patrols, including more than 150 trilateral patrols with CBP and the Mexican military. The strong partnership and coordinated efforts between the Department of Defense and Customs and Border Patrol yielded exceptional results between June 28th and June 30th, with 0 gotaways across the entire southern border during that time frame. We have made incredible progress and will continue to work towards achieving 100% operational control of the border. And recently, Secretary Hegseth directed the Secretaries of the Air Force and the Navy to take necessary action to establish national defense areas along the U.S.-Mexico border. The South Texas NDA, administered by the Department of the Air Force, will include federal property on and along 250 river miles of the Rio Grande River. The Yuma NDA, administered by the Department of the Navy, will include approximately 140 miles of federal property along the U.S.-Mexico border near the Barry M. Goldwater Range in Arizona. These will be the 3rd and the 4th designated national defense areas along the border and will continue to enhance the department's ability to protect the southern border from unlawful entry. The National Guard is also playing an essential role in protecting the U.S. southern border from illegal entry and maintaining the sovereignty, the territorial integrity, and the security of the United States. Over 4,200 Texas National Guard soldiers and airmen on state active duty continue to support Operation Lone Star, and nearly 70 Florida National Guard members are on state active duty as well. They're conducting base camp security at Alligator Alcatraz. In the greater Los Angeles area, approximately 5,000 military personnel assigned to Task Force 51 continue the important mission to protect federal functions, personnel, and property in that area. These federalized California National Guard and U.S. Marines have supported more than 170 missions in over 130 separate locations from 9 federal agencies, including the Drug Enforcement Agency, U.S. Marshal Service, ICE, and the Department of Homeland Security. So let's switch gears to the budget. I want to take a minute from the podium today to applaud the Senate on passing the President's One Big Beautiful Bill. And I would urge the U.S. House of Representatives to do the same. This bill's necessary investments in shipbuilding, military ships, aircraft, icebreakers, unmanned systems, artificial intelligence, $25 billion for the development of Golden Dome, all of these things directly help achieve the President's Peace Through Strength agenda and will help equip our warfighters to protect the homeland against 21st century threats. This reconciliation bill is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to revolutionize our nation's defense capabilities by investing heavily in service member quality of life, including housing modernization, child care, education reforms, healthcare improvements. I mean, all of these things are great, and the department is just laser focused on getting our warfighters the funding they need to execute their mission. Let's talk about recruiting briefly. A strong and lethal military, as many in this room know, requires capable recruits, and we're excited to announce that the Air Force and Space Force have both hit their recruiting goals 3 months ahead of schedule, thanks to President Trump and Secretary Hegseth's leadership. Enthusiasm to serve is at all-time highs. Since November 5th, 2024, the U.S. military has seen the highest recruiting percentage of mission achieved in 30 years. Let's talk EUCOM real quick. Over the weekend, U.S. Air Force Lieutenant General Grinkovich was officially confirmed as the next Supreme Allied Commander Europe and the U.S. Commander of European Command. he officially assumed command of the U.S. military mission in Europe during a change of command ceremony in which U.S. Air Force General Dan Raisin Kane, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, served as the presiding officer. General Grinkovich relieved General Chris Cavoli, who's retiring from military service after nearly 4 decades. So congratulations to you, Chris, on a successful career. We're also very proud to have Grinch at the helm in Europe. In closing, before I take some of your questions, I just want to take an opportunity to recognize the career of Lita Baldur, who's retiring after 20 years covering the Department of Defense. I want to thank Lita for her dedication to covering the issues, the operations of this department, and the people of this department in depth. And she's made my job and those who had it before me a hell of a lot more difficult, but get it, that's her job, to ask those tough questions. So to Lita, congratulations, good luck in everything you want to do, and thank you for everything you gave this department. And finally, as our nation commemorates its 249th birthday on Friday, let us never forget that the freedom we enjoy in America is never free. Our freedom is ensured by the men and women in uniforms spanning here at home and across the globe who dedicate themselves to its preservation. So let us never forget our fallen who made the ultimate sacrifice. Let us never forget their families who continue to carry that very heavy burden. And as we celebrate the 4th of July with family and friends at backyard barbecues, wherever it is that we celebrate this nation's independence, please remember that the very best of our nation remains forward and on watch. And so thank you all for your patience during what is a longer than normal topper. And with that, I would need further proof of that. Look no further than Operation Midnight Hammer and the total obliteration of Iran's nuclear ambitions there. So switching to Iran, and based on the success of the U.S. and Israeli military strikes, Iran is much further away today from a nuclear weapon than they were before the president took bold action to fulfill his promise to the American people. And that promise was Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. And after the 12-day war between Iran and Israel, we have a ceasefire, and we finally have peace. And the Department of Defense will support the diplomatic mission to continue that peace by ensuring that we maintain capability across the Middle East so that the President and the Secretary of Defense have a range of military options available to defend both our citizens, our troops, our forces in the region. And as such, we don't have any force posture updates at this time in the CENTCOM AOR. Okay, let's transition to ICE and the Department of Homeland Security and our partnership with them. The department continues its important work in securing our borders and supporting the Department of Homeland Security